So let me tell you a story. It's a true story, and it has to be told. I wasn't ready. A couple years ago, I was an alcoholic. I drank all my life. I was very well formed, functioning alcoholic. I mastered functional alcoholism for 20 plus years. Always had a great job. Always made great money. I was married. I had a fiance. I had dogs. Money in the bank. A pretty content life. Nothing overwhelming, but definitely surrounded by people with success. I was a respected member of society. I knew everybody, celebrities, all of them. Kanye West, Tom Brady, endless amount of celebrities that I knew. I used to be a server in a fine dining restaurant, and I was perhaps the best server there, if not. And I also spoke Spanish fluently, just like I speak English. Everything was great until it collapsed. With my daily habits, I destroyed my life. Everything. From drinking before work, drinking from waking up, drinking while working out, drinking to speak to my mom. My mom would call me and I would have to pour a glass of wine. I couldn't speak to my mom. Sickening, I promise you. I couldn't talk to my dad. I had to have a glass of wine. My dad would tell me, hey, I'm gonna fly to see you from Venezuela. And I will get upset, mad, make excuses, tell him, no, don't come here. Like I can't right now, you can't stay in my house. While they were going through extremely hard times in Venezuela, me, very selfish, extremely selfish individual who was perhaps most likely possessed by a demon, because that is not who I am right now. I am a completely changed human being, but I didn't choose that path. God chose the path for me. If you tell me right now, Alejandro, you would have thought that you will never drink for life again, that you will curse alcohol and try to tell people the true story about alcoholism, about how bad it is, how it could ruin your life, the life that I see wreck. Join AA. The first day I went to AA, my sponsor died the next day of alcoholism. Crazy. I seen people lose everything and anything. I will tell you something. Rock bottom has levels. Rock bottom has a basement. Rock bottom has not only a basement, it has stairs down. It has a subterranean underneath with rooms. It will get worse and worse. If you thought you hit rock bottom drinking, you have not seen it. Believe me, I'm telling you, I'm coming from a guy, me, who had money in the bank, women, drugs, alcohol. People respected me. I invested. Smart with money. Savvy. I had everything going on for me. Wife, fiance, dogs, house. Opportunities to rise, succeed, and be the best person I could be. An American and a Venezuelan at the same time. Athlete, you name it, I did it. Competitive. Look, at the end, alcohol's gonna win. There's no in between. Alcohol will defeat anyone and anybody. If you surrender to alcohol, if your priority is drinking at the end of the week, before your shift, after your shift, I used to start, we're just gonna have a drink after work. Boom. If you're gonna tell me that me saying, yes, let's go to this bar for one drink was gonna completely ruin my life, my family, everybody who I know, was affected. Even the people who hated me, wanted to see me do well. The hated spirit blocked me on their phone. Ignore me when they see me. Avoid me. They did not. They didn't want the energy. And who could I can't blame nobody for that, but me, nobody else. Look, I was a wreck. I was very boring, very one-dimensional. No skills to the marketplace in the reality world because I had no portfolio, no sales experience, nothing. When I tell you I had no skills, I had no skills. My only skill was serving. Here you go, selling wine, spend half that money or all the money that I had on strippers, drugs, alcohols, hookers, guns, anything that was bad, I did it. Look, God wanted to change in me. He was the one who said, look, we're gonna change all that. We're gonna put you in a program. And you're gonna see it, you're gonna feel it, and you're on it. I'm telling you, somebody put a blessing in me a couple years ago and said, you will transform your life. 2023, October 9th, I got fired from ADVs. I was off that day, and I was very emotional. It was my mom's birthday, 2 days before the meeting. I haven't seen my mom in 10 years for my recklessness because I didn't want to travel to Colombia, to Venezuela to see my mom and my family because I was like, how am I gonna drink? I just want to drink. I just want to go and I want to go to Venezuela and I don't want to hang out with them. I just want to get fucked up, drink, hookers. That's all I wanted. I didn't want to see my family. I just wanted to live in the comfort zone. Pleasure, me, nothing. Fuck it, call it all day. Horrible way of living. I promise you. You don't want to live like that. I'm telling you, because God is telling me to tell you this message. To the youth, to the old, to the 40, to the 50, to the 60, to the 70-year-old. Your life can change. Look, let me tell you something. Got fired from the beast, went to a meeting. I cursed one of my fellow employees, who I actually like. I think she's an alcoholic as well, but I cursed her in the meeting like a teenager in a classroom. I thought I was the coolest kid in the world. I wanted to show something that, look, I am something. Got fired. I told her, shut the fuck up, you stupid bitch. Everybody laughed. My colleagues, who I thought were my friends for 10 years, when I helped move, they borrowed money from me, gave them rice, gave them shift, everything, which is irrelevant. You know, everybody makes their own decision. Completely turned their back on me. Not one called me, text me, asked me, hey, how are you? Great. And that was the biggest blessing. That was my first biggest blessing because God showed me who is your friend and who's not. Who's your ally? Who is aligned with God and who's not? That restaurant that I work, evil. Complete evil. I will not go into details because it's not about that. That's a story for later. However, I will tell you this. Got fired. I already had an eviction. And it was because it was not a financial situation because I was making a lot of money. I was also selling drugs. So supplementing income with I'm not paying taxes on that. And I was making a decent amount of money. My rent was like $2,000. Drug money was like 5K. I was serving, I was making like $8,000 a month. With my eyes closed. Side job was too easy for me. I did it for 10 years. It's a very one-dimensional job. They give you 3 tables. Each guest is gonna spend $200. Usually, I was slightly drunk, not super drunk, but I had like 3-4 drinks within me, or 5, or more, plus an Adderall. So I was just completely in control of the situation, being charming, slightly, aggressive, funny. People love it. They just, I was like a drunk guy who was taking care of you, but I was really good at it. Got fired. After I got fired, I sat down, not too seriously, but I was like, no, I'm gonna get over this. But I need some time off to party. Just hang out. Cash out my 401k, $76,000. Car paid off. I was living in a hotel because now I was living that life. Living in a hotel. My drug dealer was next to me. Horrible decisions. Hookers, strippers, killers in this hotel. An extended stay in America. And you know, when you thought you hit rock bottom, man, that's when reality hits you, brother. Here's the thing about humans. You get used to it. You get used to everything. You get used to comfort. You get used to sacrifice. You get used to pain. You can get used to love. You can get used to hate. Your body will adapt. It's just natural survival. Your mindset will adapt to the situation. My life started coming in higher decay, you know? Couldn't work out, didn't want to be outside. And it just went downhill. Car broke down, couldn't fix it. Paid off. Pretty much a 2012 Nissan Armada. Great car. I was living in the hotel. I had 3 months paid. That was the only decision that I made. Hey, I'm gonna pay these 3 months. Yo, figure it out. It was October, so it was in the middle of football season here in Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What I do? I bought like 4 tickets for the games. I just wanted to go, and I wanted to show people that I was doing great. Hey, I'm going to the games. I'm flying. I'm buying this. I'm going out. I'm partying. I still have a girlfriend. My life is great. I was not ready. I was not ready for the marketplace. I was not ready for life. My mindset was completely wrecked. I had no value. I had no value to give to no one. And that's when like rock bottom hit. Started slowly but surely. My health started to decline. Day by day. It started being extremely stressed. So I was living among drug dealers, prostitutes, thieves. The worst of the worst were my neighbors. And I had no choice. And I thought that was it. That was the worst. I was out of my mind. You got way worse. $76,000 in the bank. 3 months later, burned to the ground. Gambling, drinking, hookers, drugs, guns. Gone. I didn't have money to pay my rent. My hotel for a week, $293, which is nothing. Pennies. You can make that working at McDonald's. 30 hours a week, 20 hours a week, and still have money to eat. And I still didn't do it. Chose alcohol over anything. I chose alcohol over paying rent. I chose alcohol over eating. I chose alcohol over paying my mom's medical bills, over paying my mom's food, over paying for my nephew or my niece's education, over paying for their clothes, taking care of myself, stop my gym membership, didn't go to the gym. More bad decisions came along that way. I just kept going, doing horrible things. The devil is so awful and devilish and vicious that I will find opportunities to pretty much sin. I will find a wallet on the floor with $300, burn it, like I don't know where, with credit cards. I will buy stupid shit. I was like, oh man, I'm so lucky I just found a wallet. Instead of saying, man, how can I go and find this human who just lost their wallet? Imagine being so vicious that you find a wallet and all you do is care about you. Credit cards, phone numbers, whatever I could get that I could fulfill the emptiness in my mind, my body, and my soul, I will do. I think horrible things. Horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. I will ask my friends, hey, let me borrow $20, $100, $1,000. And I got such a good rapport with them that they did it. There was a one and done. All of a sudden, nobody talked to me anymore. I cut every single tie that I created and built. Even though I was an alcoholic, I still had value in that time. Because I knew so many people, so many celebrities, so many athletes who knew me who I would just take care of them. I was a great, phenomenal server for them. You know, they would text me, I need a table, let's go. No big deal. Make $1,000, $500, burn it again. Couldn't find a job to save my life. And even if I find a job, I was self-sabotage. I would just completely quit, or if I didn't quit, oh, my health completely declined. I will start having seizures, panic attacks, acid reflux, pancreatitis. Every day, I spend more time in the ER than I spent in the hotel. And one day, I left the hospital, go to the hotel, all my clothes, everything was kicked out. And look, if you think getting evicted from a complex is bad, imagine being evicted from a hotel room. And it was so bad that I would go there asking my friends at one point admired me because I had a great job. While I was living in the hotel, and they were like, "You have a phenomenal job." The hotel was like across the restaurant that I worked at. And I would bring food to them before, I would bring some value, network. Whatever I could do, I would do it just to be a good neighbor, per se. That being said, one day, months later, I walked to the hotel and the receptionist was like, "You're not allowed here. You're not welcome here. You're not a..." It's not like you getting evicted from an apartment. It's way worse. They said, "If I see you again, I'm gonna call the cops. We don't want to see you here. And that car that is broke down in there, you gotta move it. If not, we're gonna tow it." They towed it one time. I made some stories, some lies, called the cops, got my car back, didn't have to pay, put it in a parking lot. Middle of the summer. Heat, no AC. All I did was sleep. Just sleep in the car with the heat. It was horrendous. When I tell you it was a nightmare on earth, all I wanted to do was die. I just wanted to kill myself. That's it. I just want to kill myself. I will go to the wine, somehow find 20, $30, donate blood. I still was selling drugs, and I got lucky that will help me survive. I will make like $300 now. I'm making $300 a month selling drugs. I will just use all of it for alcohol. I go to a liquor store. I'm like, all right, what's the cheapest handle I can buy? And I was drinking a handle a day. A handle of the cheapest vodka there is. Whatever was cheap, I was buying. Before, when I was doing okay in the restaurant. I would buy Grey Goose, Belvedere, Casamigos, Milagros, handles, and I will usually spend around $500 to $1,000 on alcohol for my house. That's not counting drugs. That's not counting cigars. That's not counting weed. That's not counting cocaine. That's not counting X. That's not counting Adderall that I couldn't get at the moment anymore because didn't have insurance, wasn't prescribed. Going in and out of the hospital, left and right, back and forth. One angel, one dude saved my life. One counselor from AA who was going around the hospital. And he looked at me with his eyes and he said, "Look, I've been there." And I said, no, you have not been here. I didn't want to listen to it. I didn't care. I was like, "Look, I just want to die. Legit. I think I'm going to die. It is where it is. I would love for my mom to see me. I'd love to see her, but I'm not worth it. I'm not worthy of living." That all changed. That all eventually turned around. Thanks to the grace of God. That's it. There's nothing else I can do about it. Nothing else that I can explain. Yeah, I'm outside, so I'm peeing right now. I don't care. I'm telling my story. And That's when everything changed, man. Everything started to go in. All right, look, this dude saw me in the ER. Again, 3 days later, after having pancreatitis, they told me, if you drink one more time, you will die. That's it. Like, it's pancreatitis. It's extremely serious. My bowel movements was blood. Bless you. Blood. It was just blood. I was dying. I was legit dying. Acid reflux, seizures. I had many spiritual encounters. I had one spiritual encounter where I saw three angels. I said I didn't want to die. It was very scary in the hospital. And I said, God sent my angels to protect me. And by the grace of the Lord, I saw it. I saw three angels surrounding me. And they looked at me and they said, you are protected. I can feel the energy. And I was like, maybe God has given me a chance. So after that, I will stop drinking for a month, or always go back. I always wanted to handle my way. Here's the thing: you cannot control it. When you're alcoholic, you can't control alcohol. You are powerless over alcohol. It's impossible. Drinking right now guava juice. It's phenomenal. I feel a little sick. I got a little flu. Got a job with the New York Yankees. And I said, I'm back. I'm working with the New York Yankees. This is amazing. I was making more money than I was making at Eddie V's. Spring training season, I was making around $1,000 a day, 16 days straight. That's like $16,000. Look, no matter who you are in life, in the U.S., in Dubai, $16,000 will set the tone for your success. Especially when you're working for an organization that has endless opportunities like the New York Yankees. Another opportunity came up. The Races Stadium, the Tampa Bay Races Stadium, was destroyed by the hurricane. And they started playing at the New York Yankee Stadium in Tampa. And they offered me an opportunity that people beg to have. They're like, hey, you can work for the Rays for the whole season. It's gonna be 82, whatever games, home games, and look, this is gonna be great. You're gonna make a lot of money. Look, I was a suite attendant. I was taking care of the Steinbrenners family. I was already connected with all the suites, Bank of America, Hard Rock Casino. Already building regulars. I already had it in a week. It was fast like a Lambo, I'm telling you. Got comfortable. Started drinking again. Started drinking wine. I will go to work. I will drink a bottle of wine before going to the stadium. This after I lost everything. And I started to get back. But all I had was revenge. I wanted to show the world, look, I'm back. You're not better than me. You have a horrible job. I was associating myself with those humans that destroyed my life by just being associated. It was the people who I was associated with. Alcoholics, drug addicts, life haters, never preached God. Horrible people, I'm telling you. At least during that time. I hope they found their ways. It's not my responsibility, but that's my responsibility with God. Wish you nothing but the best from the bottom of my heart. I will go to the same bar so they can see me, and they look at me, and they kept ignoring me day after day. I will try to convince them that I was doing great by buying their tab, buying them drinks, inviting them to the games, to the New York Yankee games. Ignore. These people, my aura was so completely empty. I was no value to them because my value was the fact that I was working with them and they had my parties. We were making money together. You know, they were my best friends during that time. Allegedly. You know, we're all lost with Satan pretty much at that moment. That's the only way I can describe it. Because when you seek lust, comfort, and you avoid sacrificing challenges, that is what you will find. You will find lust, chaos. You seek for chaos, you will find chaos. You seek for peace, you will find peace. As hard as it is, you will find it. I promise you, by the grace of the Lord, you will. And look, I am religious. I'm a Christian. I turn my life into Christ. But I'm not going to turn this into a Christian matter. It will be whoever your higher power is. let me tell you something. I got comfortable again. Started drinking on the job. Doing the same things but worse. Look, I had already women around me. I think this was an attempt for the demons to get me back to be part of their team. And look, when you are with the demons, he will provide on earth because the king of earth is Satan. Unfortunately, the king of heaven is Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. That's why we have to be so careful with all these spiritual wars that we have. It is just a spiritual war. It's a mindset. The mindset. Look, there's something about the mind. You can look at the brain. You can look at the frontal cortex. You can see your brain cells. But there's one thing you can't look. You don't know what the mind is. If you see a picture of the mind, you don't see it. It's not there. It is what it is. Prove me wrong. Show me a CT scan that shows the mind. The mind is what you see, what you create. Whatever you see and you create in your mind and what you build, that is your life. Period. If you say I'm tired, you will be tired. If you say this sucks, your life will suck. I hate this job, you will hate. It's going to be a reflection of what you admit to the world. Period. I didn't get fired. As a matter of fact, I called out one day with my ego. I was like, look, I'm tired. I just want to drink and party. I had a check. It was like $8,000. I haven't seen one like that forever. Remember, I was picking up receipts from Chick-fil-A so I can do the survey and eat at Chick-fil-A. That was a blessing. I will walk to the Chick-fil-A and look at Chili's, like the restaurant Chili's, and say, one day I will eat there again. This is after working at a fine dining restaurant, top tier in the US. Number one in sales in the city. Period. For many years. I was so down, so low. My low was so low that even when I had that money, I'd rather spend that money on alcohol than a hotel, than a bed to stay. Nuts. Lunatic. Baffling. I don't even, there are no words to describe my mindset in that time. So, I got fired, hospitals, back and forth. I will go to the games. After that, one game, I felt so sick. I had acid reflux. It was horrific. I thought I was gonna die. They had to call an ambulance in the game. They pulled the ambulance in the game, load me up, and take me to the hospital. Shortly after that, call out. I was like, I'm gonna drink. The next day I go, drunk. My manager, amazing soul, Baden, super nice guy, told me, hey, I was worried about you. I was looking out for you. I'm glad that you're okay, you know? Do you wanna work? I was like, what is it? Yeah, you can work, but you cannot be a suite attendant. You gotta be a full runner because, you know, we just really can't trust you right now. It's the reality. I said, fuck that. I'm out. I don't give a fuck. You're out of your mind. I'm not doing that. All right, great. Left, turned myself into alcohol again. Heavily. And now I'm super depressed because I had the opportunity for lifetime. I had everything. I had the end. I was already given the owner of the stadium. Also, the son of the owner of the team of the New York Yankees, who for somehow, some way, trust me and love me, asking me for advice about if I should buy the Rays. Crazy. While I'm drunk, we're sitting in the George Steinbrenner's office of the New York Yankees. I'm talking to him, and that meant nothing to me. All I wanted to do was drink. I could care less about him buying the team. Like opportunities that I'm missing in my life. So, moving forward with that, drinking heavily, you know, my bank account starts declining. I have now $2,000. Keep going. I'm getting super wasted. I'm going to the ER more often. Pancreatitis 1, then the pancreatitis again. These angels that saw me and said, look, man, I used to be you, and it hurts me so much to see you suffer. That's all. I want to help you out. Do you trust me? It's like, yeah, I trust you, but I don't need rehab. I need to work. I need money. Money's never the problem. It's the mindset. That's the number one. You got to fix your mindset. No matter what, no matter who you are, don't worry about money. Never, never. I never chase money anymore. I chase what purpose, what can I get from the opportunities I get? How much can I grow? Which skills I can grow to be better? Negotiation skills, sales, spiritual health, people surrounded. I never look at the money. I can care less because you can work in any environment and make money. Like you can be a GM at Longhorn and you can still make the same money as a GM at ADB's. Period. It doesn't matter. So money is never the problem. Never. That being said, I go again to the hospital. Seizure. See the angels again. Get out of the hospital. Come back with pancreatitis. And then I look, there's nothing we can do about it. Oh, this is the worst part. The doctors were telling me. They will give me IVs, drugs, everything. I got like 1,000 pages of hospital records of all the diseases that I got from alcohol, which I'm still slightly suffering from, although I live a phenomenal, great, healthy life. I don't drink, I don't do drugs, I fast. I go to the gym sometimes twice a day, no matter what, even if I work 2 jobs. So, he told me. He saw me in the ER, 5 a.m. He was walking by and I said, hey. And he looked at me, Alejandro, you're here again. I just saw you a couple days. Why are you doing this? Like, you're hurting me. He's like, do you trust me? It's like, yes. He's like, you gotta stop drinking. It's like, I told you, I cannot do it alone. He's like, do you trust me? It's like, yes. All right. Send me an Uber to a detox clinic. Went to the detox clinic, got there. The first thing they say, get naked. Check everything. Pull me in the room. I'll tell the story later about rehab. But that's when I opened my eyes. When I saw the worst of the worst, I met a man who actually had a dealership. I'm telling you this because nobody's gonna tell you the stories. Because when you go to AA, they say one of the values of AA is anonymity. That you should keep your sobriety private to protect your sobriety, because we're always in danger to drink. There are many unspoken rules of AA. What are rules which you can speak about? I am still a member of AA, but I don't go as often because I believe AA is an eternal academy for sobriety. You never graduate. Therefore, you do build a lot of anxiety. If you don't go to a meeting, you're going to have anxiety. But it's necessary. The first 6, 8 year, maybe 2 years, it depends on where you're at or how much you like it. If you're a man, if you're a woman, if you're 30, if you're 40, there's just a different dynamic, a different algorithm. It depends on who you are. Period, point blank. That's it. In my case, I have great will to live. Young, very independent. I was already going through struggle. Sleeping in my car. I was already used to sleeping in my car, so that was another issue. My mindset was like going to a bed. But in the right side, in the silver lining, I did create great habits. What were these great habits? Great habits out of sacrifice, which were, I was ashamed of myself, so I didn't want to, I isolated myself. I spent endless days, months, and years alone. A total of 2 years alone, hiding. I didn't want nobody to see me. I didn't want nobody to know who I was, what I was doing, where I was. Nothing. Solitude with God. Solitude with God. That was me. Going to AA. So I go to the detox clinic. Got clean. I had some crazy spiritual experiences. Dreams that I never had in my life. But I will tell you, if you have a problem with alcohol, you must go to a detox clinic. Do not try to do it alone. You have to go to a detox clinic. It's the number one thing, I'm telling you right now. And it's way, 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 way more serious than what you think. If you think you suspect you have a problem with alcohol, it's not normal. It's not normal that you think you have a problem with alcohol. If you think you have a problem with alcohol, you have it. It's done. It's over. I'm telling you. I was the number one biggest alcoholic ever. And I'll tell you this. I started reading books. I started reading the Bible. And I always wanted to read the Bible. I would just look, but it wasn't getting through. I wasn't getting the message. I was kind of like clocking in a workplace, and like just working and living out. That was me reading the Bible. Until I was in the detox clinic, that I met a friend. I had a friend who was a veteran, had a lot of issues, super nice black guy, and he was living there voluntarily. And he said, "Look, I have a huge problem with alcohol, and this is a safe place for me because it's very dangerous for me to be around alcohol and drugs. I don't trust myself." And I was like, he was telling me his story. He's a veteran, had money. He didn't have to live there. He didn't have to live in the detox facility. So they have a place in which veterans can live there. A lot of veterans have a lot of issues when it comes to alcohol due to PTSD, and so many other factors. So I saw realities that I thought were unimaginable. Nightmares, living nightmares. That's what it was. And I was like, I don't want to be that guy. I'm not there yet. And I know I can stop it. And one day, I started having dreams, crazy dreams, wild dreams, so vivid. So one dream I had, I was in Venezuela driving with my best friend, Andres Oneto. Right now, he extremely successful. He stayed by my side throughout all my alcoholism. He stayed next to me. He was still a friend. Always look out for me. Telling you, he's an angel. He's one of those guys. And during that time, I had a dream that he was driving. And I grew up in Venezuela. And then throughout history, one of the top 10 cities most dangerous in the world. I would say it's top 3 because people know the reality. That's the Wild Wild West. I had so many guns put in my head, I can't even count. It's normal. So I thrive when in chaos. When everything is in chaos, I am the solution. I can bring peace. That's one of my gifts. Everybody told me you should be a cop, you should be a security guard. I fought a lot. I used to do martial arts. I had a sensei who was from Japan. Luckily, by the grace of God, after Pearl Harbor, he flew to Venezuela, and he taught me a lot about mindset that I forgot, that I rely on it and got back to it. So I had this dream. This dream was crazy. So we're driving, and it's vivid. I'm just seeing, like I'm telling you, like I get chills. I've seen my body in the dream, right? And he's driving, and he's looking at me like, "Look, they're gonna kill us." I was like, wow. And somebody hit us, T-bone, boom. And I remember that my knees hit across. So I shattered my knees in the dream. I felt a fracture. And I felt my nervous central system shock. Like when somebody hits you, a high impact pain. That's what I felt. And I wake up and my knees were bruised. Look, I don't know who you are. I was already getting sober. I didn't hit my knees. There were cameras, there's nurses, there's security. I have a roommate who's living next to me, so he would have heard it. He said, I didn't hear anything. I don't know what happened. So I pretty much almost had to be in a wheelchair for a week. This is all documented. This is not like you can go to the detox clinic. You can go to St. Joseph Hospital. You can look at all the facts. And this is real shit, real talk. And like I was in shock. Like I didn't know what's going on. Next day, I had a dream. I had a dream that I was flying. But it felt so vivid. I was like, I saw me walking and then taking off. And I was flying and I saw the clouds. And I flew so high. And then I ran out of gas, like energy. And I started falling down, and I see me falling down. And boom, I crack. Again, I get up, and I'm in pain. Like everything hurts. Ah, like in pain. Like a heart fell. You know, I don't see any bruises, but I feel the pain in my body. Off, the heart fell. It was surreal. I was like in a multiverse. I don't know how to explain it till this day, and I will never be able to explain it until I'm in heaven. The last dream that I had before I left the clinic, the last dream, and I promise you. So there's a guy who used to work with me, and we were very close, younger than me, and he suffers a lot of depression. I believe he's also an alcoholic, had a DUI. We were very close. He has a girlfriend. He, whatever, got caught up. He got caught up on other friendships that I was in. He was younger. And I remember the dream that we were in a park in Venezuela and he was there. And he was with two people. And I was by myself and he was trying to kill me. It was a fight. But I'm always, I never lost a fight. Never. In my life. Like, one-on-one, never. Bar fight is really hard for you to get me. Look, because you a lot of people know how to fight. A lot of people know jiu-jitsu, but they don't know violence. I know violence. I'm very familiar with violence. I know what it is like. You have a knife in your hand, a knife in your throat. I know what it feels like. I know when somebody is about to pull the trigger. I know violence. Violence is my comfort zone. I know it extremely well. I thrive on it. You know, but now I use that energy for something else, for success, for pressure, for endurance, for clarity. When you know violence, you get a lot of clarity in your life. You can see things more clearly if you have that in your DNA. Uh, in the dream, there are two mango trees that I used to pick mangoes when I was a kid, and I totally forgot because I was such caught up in alcohol. I forgot how beautiful my life was in that park. I had friends. We will pick up mangoes, play in the park, you know, like play baseball. It was a beautiful, beautiful time. It was in the 80s. I'm 44, I'm about to turn 45. Very active life, you know, great friends, beautiful. In the dream, he comes with two people who I don't know. I'm still, till this day, I'm trying to figure out because they were there. But the two guys had a knife. He didn't have a knife. And they're trying to kill me. And they're trying to approach me. And I remember fighting these guys. And I said, I'm not going to lose this fight. And I look around my surroundings. This is my park where I grew up in Venezuela. And I know there were rocks on my left side. And there was like a stone and a stick through a rock. And then, you know, one dude collapsed. The other guy was starting to find me. Boom, boom, boom. Grabbed the knife like I'd done before in my life, in real life, in Venezuela. Kill him. I never killed somebody in a dream. Never. I never had such violent dream in my life. This is what got me. And I never told this story. And I chose to tell it on this channel because I want to show the world how dangerous alcohol is in the real life, real facts that I will show here. And I will show you why. Look, I grabbed the knife and I killed him. And I remember seeing the blood going through my hands. And I see his eyes dying. And he said to me, don't worry, you're my brother. And I will see you in heaven. After that day, I woke up. And I said, I'm ready. I'm not drinking anymore. It's over. It's done. Like, this is it. This was a clear moment in my life. I was ready. I had insurance. I was ready to go to California, Santa Clara, to a clinic. I was going to go to a clinic, right? For rehab. Choose not to go. Doctors begged me, look, you need to go. You're going to fail. I said, no, I'm ready. I'm ready to go to the real world. No money. I had like 20 bucks in my pocket. They paid for my Uber. I go to my car. And I said, all right, I got to get sober. I remember the angel who told me, hey, go to these AA meetings. They're going to help you there. I go there. Very skeptical. Super skeptical. I go there. And I sat down in the meetings. And I said, all these motherfuckers are crazy, but I like it. They're pretty cool, you know? And I started going daily, 2 meetings a day, reading the big book, reading the Bible, working on myself, eating, anxiety going to the roof. No alcohol, no drugs. But I will tell you this, whenever you stop drinking, you will eat. And you eat a lot of sweets, you eat a lot of sugar. I was eating a lot of McDonald's. Whatever I can get my hands if I had the money. Every AA meetings, they have cookies, they have coffee, and I developed some of the most beautiful friendships I had in my life. Straight up. Went straight for 9 months and I started seeing slightly progress. I asked God, if you let me work in another sports franchise, I will change my life. I'm telling you, I'm gonna go sober. I'm already dedicating my life to you. I wasn't completely fully, but I was. I didn't feel it. I didn't feel the love of God yet like I do now. It's overwhelming. And I know that I'm safe because I am saved by Christ, my Lord Jesus Christ. That being said, my life changed. But that will be a story for another video. Stay strong. God loves you. Christ loves you. It's the only way, the only solution. You're not going to get out of alcoholism without God. Impossible. It's not going to happen. I promise you. You can try to control it, it's not going to happen. But please, open your eyes, open your mind. If you have a TV, grab it, throw it away, and burn it. If you have friends that are a bad influence, get away from them. Protect your business. You are your own business of your own life. Whoever you associate with will affect your life. Anybody. If you ever hit a red flag, don't. So, I will tell you more stories that are crazier. This is just the beginning. My name is Alejandro, recovered alcoholic. And I'm doing this because God told me, show them that I'm real, that God is real, that God exists, that you can survive, that you can thrive a beautiful life. And I promise you that we can all do it. Let's go.